Ever notice how dating advice for men over 50 usually assumes he's trying to impress someone or prove something? But what if the real dating power at 50 isn't about impressing anyone? What if it's about something completely different? The men over 50 who actually have success with dating aren't the ones trying harder. They're not the ones buying nicer cars or getting plastic surgery or pretending to be younger or pretending to have more money than they do. The men who have success are the ones who figured out something that younger men haven't yet. They figured out that dating at 50 is about being genuinely yourself and filtering for someone who actually wants that person. That's it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 7 dating tips that actually work for men over 50. Not tricks, not games, not manipulation tactics that work for a night or two. Real strategies that come from understanding what women over 50 actually respond to and what actually builds something sustainable. The first tip is to stop trying to appear younger than you are. This one seems obvious, but so many men get it wrong. You're 50. Act like 50. Dress like a man in his 50s, not like you're trying to recapture your 20s. Don't try to have the same energy or interests or cultural references as someone in their 30s. And here's the thing. Women over 50 don't want a man who looks like he's trying to be 30. They can see a 30-year-old if they want one. That's not what's attractive about a man your age. What they respond to is a man who's comfortable being 50, who owns his age, who carries it like he's lived a full life, not like it's something to apologize for or hide from. A man who's comfortable in his 50s, who's grounded in who he is, who doesn't feel the need to prove he's still young, that's attractive. The second tip is to have your own life and let that be obvious. Don't make dating the center of your world. Have friends you spend time with, have interests you pursue actively, not just theoretically, have hobbies you're excited about, have a life that's full regardless of whether you're in a relationship. And then, when you're dating someone, be the guy who has to fit her into his schedule, not the guy who's desperately trying to make time for her or reorganizing his entire life around her. This isn't about being cold or distant. This is about having your priorities clear. Your life matters, your interests matter, your time matters. And a woman over 50 respects that because she has her own full life and she needs a man who isn't going to try to consume all of it. The third tip is to be honest about what you want early. Not aggressive, not pushy, but clear about your intentions. Do you want a serious relationship that might lead to marriage or commitment? Do you want to see where things go casually and slowly build? Do you want something that's companionship and dating but nothing serious? Be honest about it, say it early, and then let her decide if that matches what she actually wants. The reason this works is that it filters out incompatibility immediately. If she wants serious commitment and you want casual dating, that's a fundamental misalignment that shouldn't take 6 months of dating to discover. And women over 50 respect clarity. They've been through enough relationships to know that avoiding hard conversations early just creates bigger problems later. The fourth tip is to actually listen when she talks, instead of thinking about what you're going to say next or how you're coming across. Pay attention to what she's saying. Remember details she mentioned. Ask follow-up questions about things she mentioned weeks ago. Show her that you actually retained what she said. This isn't complicated, but most men don't do it because they're stuck in their own heads, thinking about how they look or what she thinks about them or whether she's attracted to them. But when you actually listen, when you pay attention, when you remember things that matter to her, she feels seen. And that's incredibly powerful at 50, when most people feel invisible. The fifth tip is to be financially stable, and let that be obvious through your actions, not your words. This doesn't mean you have to be rich or impressive, but it means you have your house in order. You can pay for dinner without stressing about it. You have a job or a retirement plan or some source of income that's stable enough to sustain you. Don't brag about money. Don't try to impress with how much you have or what you own. Just be someone who has their financial life together. Because by 50, women have often learned that financial instability is a red flag. A man who's struggling financially often has that struggle because of patterns in how he operates, not just bad luck. The sixth tip is to work on your emotional health. This might be the most important one of all. If you're carrying resentment from your ex, that's going to show up in how you treat the new woman. If you're insecure about your body or your success or your worth, that's going to come across in how you interact. If you haven't processed your divorce or your loss, if you're still grieving what you lost, that's going to affect how you relate to someone new. Women over 50 can sense this. They can feel whether you're genuinely available emotionally or whether you're still tangled up in your past. So actually do the work. Go to therapy, find a men's group, process your stuff. Get to a place where you can be present with someone new without bringing all your old wounds into the new relationship. The seventh tip is to be authentic, not a persona, not a version you think she wants, not a performance, actually you. Your weird sense of humor, your opinions about things, your interests that maybe aren't cool, your way of being in the world, your values. Because if you attract her with a persona, if you get her interested by being someone you're not, you're going to have to maintain that persona forever. And by 50, you're too old for that. You're too tired for that. You don't have the energy. What you want is to attract someone who wants the actual you, not the version you're performing, not the version you think is impressive. Here's what all of these tips have in common. They're not about trying harder. They're not about doing more or being more. They're about being clearer about who you actually are and filtering for someone who actually wants that. At 50, dating is less about competing and more about clarity. You're clear about what you want. You're clear about who you are. You're clear about what you won't tolerate or accept. And you're looking for a woman who's equally clear, who knows what she wants, who knows who she is, who knows what she won't accept. When two people who are clear meet, either you align and something real can develop, or you don't align and you both move on quickly to find someone who does. Either way, you're not wasting time. Comment if you've tried any of these and seen different results. Comment which one feels most difficult for you right now. Comment if this approach feels different from how you've approached dating before. I read every comment. And if this helped you understand how to approach dating differently at 50, I'd appreciate it if you'd like this video and subscribe. It helps more men understand that dating at 50 is less about trying to impress and more about being clear about who you are. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.